Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Dowd here, and it's time for another scenic stroll through the technology landscape. So let's see what's new and exciting, shall we? It is March 6, 2019, and this is your Digit Daily. Folding phones are here. They are magnificent to behold. Yeah, okay, that might be a little bit of rhetoric, but still, folding phones are kinda cool. But they do have one major Achilles heel, and ironically, it's the same thing that makes them cool, the screens. You see, those screens are covered by plastic, and when it comes to phone screens, plastic kind of sucks. It's prone to scratches and dings, and over time it'll eventually crease and or bubble, leaving you with a not flat, not pristine screen that, sure, it folds up, but it also looks like crap, and you paid $2,000 for it. Plus, screen protectors are not going to get the job done here. Dan Derry from Motorola, you might remember him. We talked about an Engadget interview he had at MWC. Well, apparently a lot was said there, because this is just coming out today. Motorola patented a film protector. I'm guessing it's the one that was used on the Moto Z4 series, and that was terrible. And he said, quote, "The fact that you're touching that kind of display with your nails is scratching it. It has a short life right away. It starts dying the day you unpack it." Yikes. And as someone who reviewed the Moto Z2 Force, I can confirm. So Wire recommends that we all just wait for folding glass to come around because it's not too far away. Yeah, right, like folding glass. I'll just wait until folding glass comes around. And wait, what? That's right, folding glass is not as crazy and far off as it sounds. Corning is already working on the concept, and they've got sheets of glass that are 0.1 millimeter thick, and no, I did not misplace a decimal on that, and it can bend down to a radius of about 5 millimeters. Yeah, that's glass, like glass, which is pretty awesome, but we're not out of the woods yet. Right now, Corning is working on making this super thin, bendable glass as scratch resistant as possible. The process that's used for Gorilla Glass, which involves dipping the glass into a molten salt solution, won't work on glass for bendable displays. Why, you might ask? I'm so glad you did. Because the potassium ions that harden the glass also have a tendency to snack on transistors. Yeah, so foldable Gorilla Glass would literally eat away at the screens companies would be adhering to them. So, yeah, kind of a problem, one might say. So where does that leave us? Well, Corning thinks that we're a couple years away from getting this right. That is to say, foldable glass phone screens, which in some ways is really remarkable. But in other ways, and it sucks that I have to say this again, but it makes the Samsung Galaxy Fold and the Huawei Mate X essentially Notch 2.0. They're clumsy workarounds just to get products out the door until the correct solution is ready. And you get to pay $2,000 for that. Good luck with that. So, while we wait for our bendable glass to make its way to the mainstream, let's head on over to the roundup! Android Authority's review of the Galaxy S10 Plus is in, and reviewer David ML loves everything about the phone except the camera, which is a gigantic ouch sandwich. Samsung cameras have been absolutely stunning since the Galaxy S6, and to think that the Galaxy S10 Plus, the flagship of the flagships that came out, has a camera that's just okay, really shakes my confidence in the brand, I'm sorry to say. Yucksville, population Samsung, bro. Speaking of which, sales of the Galaxy S10 have reportedly been rather low, according to The Investor. Samsung says, liar, liar, pants on fire, sales are better than the S9, and that's fine, but sales for the Galaxy S9 put the mobile division in crisis, remember? So that's not exactly a high bar here. I mean, nobody is really giving any concrete numbers here, but if they're low, that can't possibly be surprising to anyone, right? Last year, a number of MacBook users started reporting a strange, quote, stage lighting effect coming from their MacBook screens. Rather than one continuous backlight, you started seeing basically striated lighting. The cause seems to have been due to a super thin controller cable that attached the screen to the video controller. Now, it's hard to say that this definitely caused the trouble, but Apple seems to think it was, because new MacBooks are now being shipped with a controller cable that is 2 millimeters longer and therefore less prone to stretching. But Apple didn't really tell anybody about this, nor has Apple ever acknowledged that there was a problem in the first place. But suddenly there's a longer cable in newer machines, and if you're thinking that this sounds shady AF, well, that's because it is. As promised, we continue our Geneva Motor Show coverage, but in this case, CNET has you fully covered with an epic and comprehensive rundown of everything that happened at the show. You've got Audis, you've got James Bond cars, you've got the Polestar. Polestar. You've got Bugattis and Ferraris, and if you dig cars, this article is for you. Heck, I don't even like cars, and I was riveted. And finally, and might I add, finally, commercial spaceships should start taking very, very rich people into space this year. This has been a promise that's been a long time coming, and now it looks like at least 2 companies are set to deliver, which is awesome. Space is awesome, and putting more people in it is awesome. But that does leave one practical question that needs to be answered. What do we call these people? In America, trained spacewalkers are called astronauts. In Russia, they are cosmonauts. And in China, they are takonauts. Takonauts. Anyway, the closest we've come so far is, quote, commercial astronauts, which is the title for the crew of those vehicles. But what about the passengers? How about, I don't know, rich a**? Just a thought. So that is going to do it for today's Digit Daily. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on Digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe and leave a review in your favorite podcast player. Once again, I'm Adam Dowd, Dead Technology on Twitter, and we'll talk again tomorrow.